Hello everybody. My name is Meg Bowman. I'm one of the owners of Clinician's Incubator, and I'm super excited to give you a little peek under the hood about what we do on a monthly basis. So let's get started. So first off, we have cohorts of our signature supervision program starting 3 times a year in January, May, and December. Please feel free to get in touch with us if it isn't close to one of those start times, because we actually do have other ways for you to start accruing hours until one of these dates happens and you can join the signature program. So what happens on a monthly basis? We meet twice a month for clinical rounds, and all of our group sessions are going to be the same day of the week and the same time of the week. So you know throughout the course of your 4 months with us or 8 months with us or 12 months with us, whatever it is, that your appointments are going to be, as an example, Mondays at 7:30 for your group appointments. This only applies for the group ones. The individual ones are a little bit different. So twice a month, you're going to have a clinical round session where you bring clinical questions about clients or some things that you need feedback on in terms of programs or protocols that you're building. The advisors are going to rotate monthly, so it's either going to be myself, Allison, or Liz. And typically these groups are anywhere from 6 to 8 people. If it's 6 people, it'll be an hour. If it's 8 people, it'll be more like an hour and a half. So you'll also get one of these per month. This is also a group session. This is the educational case study. So we have an education module every month that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And part of that education module is a case study. So basically what's going to happen for this time each month is you're going to gather, having looked at the case study, having worked up the case study, having accrued hours for working up the case study, and bring your thoughts on that particular case. Bring any questions you have. We frequently add labs to these case studies, and so often people want to get some support in interpreting those labs. And then any ideas you have on testing and supplements. So you also get 1 hour of one-on-one individual supervision per month, and this one you basically get to schedule whenever you want. So sometimes people schedule these based on, frankly, who has the availability that matches best with them. That's fine. Sometimes people schedule these based on an area of interest. So as an example, if you had a client who just recently ran a Dutch test, you're not going to come and schedule with me. You're going to schedule with Allison or Liz, because they do that all the time, whereas it's not something that I do as frequently. And we'll help you figure out who to schedule with if you want to schedule by interest or client question. So some things to bring to one-on-one supervisions. Obviously, any questions you have about your client work, but this is also the place that you get to show us what you've been doing for your CNS hours. So any documentation that you have about programs or handouts or client charts, whatever, we want to see it during the once monthly supervision hour. So twice a month you get 15-minute phone calls with an advisor, and this advisor stays with you. Everything else is rotating so that you get the chance to, as an example, ask Allison, Liz, and myself all what to do about IBS. We want to provide that rotation so you have an opportunity to ask multiple people different ways to deal with a particular topic. But your advisor, we want to stay steady and the same person throughout the entire time you're with us, no matter how long that is. Because this is the person that you're going to touch base with twice a month to go over any business or career questions. This is where you're going to set your goals about studying for the test or opening a private practice or finding a job, whatever those goals are. And you're going to check in every couple of weeks with the same person to see where you are on those goals and to create some goals for the next couple of weeks. So in terms of just having a touch point, this is a phenomenal ad that we actually added since we started the program, that people are really, really, really liking it. So let's look more deeply at the education modules. So some things that you get every month is basically you'll have videos on one of these topics. This is our current order. I can't promise that this is going to be the order when you start, but what I can promise is those first 4 modules, mental health, eating, behavior, eating disorders and stress hormones, those will be solid. We kind of play with the order of the other ones every once in a while to try and come up with the perfect mix. But those first four, they are always the first four, because we really feel like we don't want to sign off on anybody's hours unless we're pretty sure they're not going to be a harm to somebody by not recognizing a gaping eating disorder in front of them. So those are our first four modules, and each time that you have an education module, there's going to be short videos, because I don't want to watch an hour-long video, so I am sure not going to record an hour-long video for you. So we try and keep them within 5 to 10 minute videos. They're nice and short. There's going to be worksheets or handouts. We're going to provide information about our favorite approaches or supplements, or food suggestions, whatever is appropriate. And of course, there's going to be studies and papers that you can take a look at if you want to learn more. So the bonus material that you get with our Signature Supervision program, I'm really excited about this. I had a lot of involvement in doing this. So the first thing you get is the Practice Incubator. So this is intended to be a 12-week course. I hate to say it's a course. It's more like a roadmap. It's a 12-week roadmap that helps you establish your own private practice if you're interested in doing that. So everything from figuring out the name of your business, how to get a legal business entity, how to get liability insurance, how to set up your accounting, how to set up your marketing and networking plans. We're going to walk you through what kind of services you might want to offer and why or why not you might want to offer grocery store tours versus meal planning versus one-on-ones versus groups. We're going to talk about labs and supplements and how you could potentially, the many ways that you could potentially offer those. We're going to talk about whether or not you want to take insurance and super bills and give you the first steps to get you set up to do that if you want to do that. We're going to walk you through setting up a business plan and figuring out how you're going to document for clients, figuring out how you're going to take notes. We're going to provide you with legal forms, with client forms, with sample soap notes, because none of us A-dime anymore, and soap is just easier. We're going to help you figure out how to coordinate care and provide some structure with that. And actually, I find probably the best part of it is the Organizing Your World section, where Allison and Liz and I all talk about how we organize our brains and how we organize our files on the computer to keep all of this information in one place. And we all do it very differently. So I find that to be really helpful. And that's just bonus. That's included. You get it when you sign up for supervision. When we get your deposit for supervision, you get that. So if you turn in your deposit in August and you don't start till January, in August you get the Practice Incubator. It's really helpful. We also give you the clinical intensive. So as much as the Practice Incubator is intended to be a very business-centered how-to, the clinical intensive is meant to be, what do you actually do in session with clients? Because that's very different than what services you're going to offer. What you actually do when you're sitting across next to a client, however that works, is critically important and plays a big role in the success that client has. So Liz is the one who made this, and she's going to talk you through how to do an intake, how to do a follow-up, what communication really should look like between all of those appointments and when you first get a client to contact you, and then also how to set boundaries and expectations. This is really important if you don't want to burn out. Is some really good quality boundaries, I will say. So what are the next steps? Right now, the next steps are, if you have questions, please schedule an info session. We're going to have a button below that you can do this, schedule an info session. If you're ready to submit the application, you can also do that. There's a link below that you can submit your application. But the process, generally speaking, is we like to have 2 of the 3 of us talk with any candidate before we say, yes, we feel pretty confident that we can help you. But the application process is basically you're going to submit some forms to us. You're going to submit a 1-page statement of what your interest is and where you are. You're going to submit your transcripts from school. Unofficial transcripts, totally fine. Please don't pay for a transcript on our account. And then you're going to submit your resume, and that's it, and then schedule an appointment. So we greatly, greatly, greatly look forward to talking with you. We're super excited for you to reach out if you have questions and just want to hop on a call, and we can chat about what the program is. And I guess that's it. I'm really excited to hopefully be in touch and see if there's a way that we can help you finish your CNS certification and then go out there and get clients and do what you're trained to do.